All right, time for some more Eisenhower. Time for some action. So these are the 26 replacement signs, the emergency signs. The signs themselves aren't emergency. Well, they are always, but these are just replacing these guys here. Old busted, new hotness. So let's get after it. Lay of the land. So we've got hanger box. We got the main frame. We've got jiggies for the main frame. And we've got our skins for the main box. And we have one slide in face. Should be it. That's all we need. So this took a lot of thinking because, again, there's 26 of them. So that's every part times 26. So you have to be very aware of what you're sending and what I'm asking you guys to do and how long it's going to take you at the break and how much, even reference kisses, things like that. So I really sat, long and hard with it. Hello? And just tried to see what was the best way to, minimize every single part, every single reference kiss, just for you guys to make it that much simpler, more straightforward for you guys. So it's broken into the main frame and the hanger box. So let's go over the hanger box. Now I know that Jose doesn't watch these. But if you could encourage him, what I would do is focus on getting all 26 hanger boxes out because they're separate. They can be built separately from this. So I would get all of this out first. And then that way you can concentrate and get these built. And then I would concentrate on getting these frames and jigs out, then do these last. I know it's kind of a method of trying to nest and try to get good yield, but you do not need these until all of this is out. So, I would encourage you just kind of get started on these guys and you can just knock these out. So again, what I did is I really thought about it. I was thinking, it's going to be a 5-inch deep box, just like our channel or our, like a blade sign. But as you know, that's going to be, 8, that's 4 jigs times 2. That's going to be 8 times 26. So I really thought about it and I came up with something we haven't done yet. It's going to be a jigless box. So the top and the bottom, it's kind of a combination. It's sort of like our raceways, the little white ones we make. The front part, the front face is going to tuck inside the front face there. And then the back side is going to be all even like we do, except I'm not going to do jigs because that's 4 more jigs you got to do. So what we're going to do, or you guys are going to do, is you're going to slide this sawtooth thing, which is the front jig, and you're going to click it inside. And I do realize that means the face is only going to be supported on the top and the bottom across this way. The side rails will actually be a 090 back, but I figured with 3/16 it shouldn't be an issue. So, there's no free lunch. If you're going to get rid of the jigs, then you're not going to have a full flush frame on the face. So you're just going to slide this in, cleco it up, and then I gave you more surface area to actually do some tacks right here, and you can tack on there. You'll be able to access this from the backside because it'll be open. And then you're going to bring this together, and then you're really going to rely on these jigs as well, or on these clecos up here. So you're going to bring those together, and then that's going to hold it all together with no jigs. Then you're going to burn this really well, burn the face really well, get on the seam here. And then the backside, I don't think you need to tack here, but there's not going to be any jigs. And then once this is welded together very well from the face and the sides, then you can just lords on the back and the back will complete the box. So it's a jigless system. It's the best you could do. Kind of like I said, I really thought about it. I had many different ways of doing this, trying to think of something, but it always ended up with some jig or something that we had to route a lot of. So this is the best we could do. So, and then keep an eye out for this guy. When it comes time to assemble this, you're going to have sort of this, what is this, 35, 20? Yeah, it's a decent sized box, 36 by 26, 20, yeah. So holding this while you're trying to get 5/16 nuts, you got 6 of them there, or bolts into the riv nuts. So what you're going to do is take this little rectangle and you're going to rivet it once it's done to the backside. And then that's going to be sort of a gravity cleat that's going to catch the opening in the face. And that will allow you to hold it up there, clunk it down, and it'll hold it level. and then you can get your left and right, and then you can nail it down with the 5/16 nuts that we do. So keep an eye out for that, just little rectangle. That's what that's for. So like I said, you can get these knocked out, get these taken care of. Yeah, top and bottom are permanent, and the sides are removable. The reason why I made both sides removable is not only is it just make it easier on you guys, you could, flip and match, but some of these are going to be buried like up against a fence. Some of them go against the fence on another side. Some of them are in some bushes and stuff. So you can't get, one retainer will be inaccessible. So the left-hand retainer has to come off on some of them. So rather than create this whole, family, some of them are this way, two different species. It's all a universal box. So, but just keep an eye out for, in is inside. Again, I tried to minimize everything. So instead of writing the whole inside, I got that. Just keep an eye out because these are directional. These riv nut holes are kind of justified one way. So make sure that there is an up and a down, a left and a right. So keep all that straight. So, but yeah, that's the gravity cleat. These are top and bottom are permanent. Sides are removable. Box is done. You're going to go ahead and paint this white. I'm not even going to do an insert. I was going to do that, but again, that's 26 inserts. Just trying to shave every little bit off of this. So you'll just run your LEDs, inside the box as we do, and then run a leash out the back. The box will need to be removed in order to get inside to electrical, and we're going to go over that next. But basically that's how that works. So now the main frame is going to be more conventional. It's just going to be some jigs. Again, I tried to do it in such a way that we didn't have to do too many jigs, but we got to do something. I try to do this blister out the side. So it's going to be basically like a main box. And then I used really long slots. And then these weird jigs are going to poke all the way through. And then the side blister really doesn't have any sort of internal fold frames. It's just going to rely on the jigs themselves. And then you're just going to have to float some major Lord's splooge there to kind of secure that skin, because that skin will just kind of be flapping there. So, but it'll have the frame around the side, and that's really all it needs. So again, kind of unconventional. I haven't really done it that way. And so this frame vertical is going to be sort of internal to the box because it's going to have its own little blister out the side. So what that does is that creates the world's biggest switch enclosure. So this whole thing here is going to be the switch enclosure. And when you take the box off, you're going to have access inside. And that's where install is going to be able to run power up the side here. I don't think we need to run it through the actual pole itself. You can just install can choose which side to pull it up. They just need to get it through and up into this area. This will be our sort of field compartment in there. And then I also, like I said, I went back and forth and just thought about how to do the switch. Do I do it on the outside? And then, all of that. And usually our birdhouses, which are really great, but they're at least a minimum of 2 to 3 and 3 pieces times 26. I really tried to keep it good for you guys. So what we did is we're just going to do a GE, and everything's going to live on the inside of this frame. So you'll have a spot for GE, you'll have a spot for a couple of grounds, bonding, whatever. And then I modified the switch plate to where you're just going to take a single Heiko and use the Heiko that has like the little teeth on it. It's, the ribbed for their pleasure. And then what you're going to do is just run the wires back through the face. So bring in obviously a couple boxes of switches, and you can just make these plates up, put the boot on there, and then just run it back through. And then that way, like I say, the switch and everything will be hidden in here. That'll be its enclosure. Hopefully no water gets in there. And then you just run the wires back out, and then install, bring their wires, and they'll use this area as the field compartment. Hopefully they keep everything nice. Maybe give them a zip tie patch that's just open with the zip tie in it, and they can zip tie that stuff, closed and make it look nice. Workmanship, I think it's 725 in the NEC. You got to make it look nice. You've got 6 riv nuts like we do. They will sandwich the frame and the jigs to give a nice strength. Anyway, and then you got your post. Post is 32 inches poking out. It's 3x3, real simple there, 3x3/8. And then I did send over caps, but these are just going to be 09. And again, I'm not even bothering to reference kit. So you guys know what's up. So plus that removes some. So now you're technically, welding up 080 instead of 09. But just go ahead and cap the bottom and look out for those, though I did put those in the batch. So I think those guys are right there. Yep. So anyway, but slide that through, look for 32 out, and then go ahead and burn it to the frame real good so it doesn't go anywhere. That's done. And then once you get this built, just seal it up. We're good to go. So again, you can kind of choose to see which way you want to do it. Coordinate with Jose about which is best, but I would just basically just concentrate on getting these out. These here, I believe, will be painted Matthews to match the vinyl. So again, this might be more work for these. I believe these will be text coated, even though this is a 2-step paint. They're going to have to mask and do 2 different colors, but definitely focus on possibly getting all these boxes out first. That'll, something to chew on. But at 26 each, get ready to be at the break, make peace with your maker, and you're just going to be at the break for a while. So charge your AirPods and just sit there and zone out. Otherwise, I believe that's it. Leveling cleat, how to make that, how to do that, electrical. I think we're all good. So otherwise, if you have any questions, hit me up.
Check the technique. Check the technique. See if you can follow it.